Hey there, it's Erin, and I'm prepping to go on an errand to our first pop-up event of the year. If you are someone who has a small business or helps your friends at craft fairs or events or jumps in for catering events, I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years, and about the past 10, I've been doing pop-up events, catering, talks, and so over time, I've built a checklist of things that we do before, prior to committing to an event, the questions we ask, how we prepare, what we do that day, and then what we do after. And I thought I would just share with you a few helpful tips from that, especially the ones that we had to learn along the way. So hopefully this will help you to avoid those mistakes and just help you to feel confident when you're about to go out and do an event. So the first thing is find out about the event. Find out if it's a right fit. What are the goals for the coordinator or for the guest? And does it align with your company goals? And who are the audience members that are going to be, or who are the guests that are coming to this? Is it the right fit where you'll be able to offer them a product or service that you think they may need or would like? I also like to get an idea of the agenda, what other food and beverage is going to be there. For me, with a chocolate company, I'm particularly interested in how many other dessert options there are, if they're going to be full or hungry. And it makes a difference if they are paying for a ticket and what we are providing is included in their ticket or not, or if it's just a free open to the public kind of event. So just knowing those things really, really helps to plan. Then we create our schedule and our list and everything. One thing I do want to mention is that we've learned to overpack. I don't like to take too many things, but I have found some things really come in handy, like scissors, pen, tape, trash bag, a water bottle, and some paper towels. Because sometimes it's a bit of a scramble with a bunch of vendors there and one coordinator. So you may find your area, it needs to be wiped down with a paper towel and wet paper towel. You might find trash in your area that you want to pick up and not have to bother someone to ask them where's the trash can. And it can also be an outdoor event. So if it's windy, sometimes our signs and things will fall over. So tape has also come in handy. I like to also, if you're unfamiliar with the location, actually practice driving there. Helps to ease the anxiety of where you're supposed to go. Ask for loading, unloading information, parking information, validation, figure out if things can fit in your company vehicle or your personal vehicle, and also the people that are going with you. And then to remember to pack cash for parking, especially quarters if you have to do metered parking. So those are some tips. One that we have forgotten, so I've started to make sure to include, is that your devices are charged, not that day, the day before. And then practice anything that gives you a little anxiety or the people that are coming with you. For most people that help us work at these kinds of pop-up events, it's always remembering the products, the pricing, and how to use the register. So we've always modified our register to only include the items we're selling. So we will clean it up right before the event so that the register is not confusing. There will be no errors in terms of picking up the wrong product because we only put what we're taking with us. We've also created signs where on the back of the sign it has the pricing and description, so you don't have to lean over in the front and look, and that's been very helpful. Let's see. Oh, a big one for me is I am always worried about if someone gets sick. And so I have a backup on-call person for that day, just in case the morning of somebody calls in sick or isn't able to go, doesn't feel well. For another one for me personally is I have to bring snacks. I like to eat every few hours or snack every few hours. So I always try to pack food that I'm comfortable with and not do anything new. And a lot of times it'll be like nuts and things that are like small that I can pull out of my fanny pack and eat and like nibble on, and doesn't make your breath smell stink. And if it's a long day, I will pre-pack like homemade food or peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, although peanut butter is kind of stinky. But those are the things that will make sure that my stomach doesn't get upset or weird that day, because I've practiced with the food too. Bringing extra business cards, flyers, note paper. You just never know who you're going to meet and what opportunities will be there, so that should be good on hand. I've also learned to plan out breaks and plan out fun times. So with the team that's there, you want to make sure everybody has a chance to go to the bathroom, rest, even go somewhere away from the table and like not smile for a few minutes, because these events are such high energy. You're smiling, you're loud, you're talking to people, you're excited, and you really need time to just and just stretch your face out. So planning that in, along with planning in fun time, especially if you have the opportunity to walk around at these events and see what other people are up to, you want to make sure that you all have a little bit of time to do that, as well as buy something that you can take back to the rest of your team to share. It's not only the team that's there, but the people that helped you to prepare for that moment. What else? And then for the team itself, I like to communicate what the goal is so that we're all on the same page, whether it's a sales goal or it's to meet certain groups of people. If you're trying to do some kind of convention and get a buyer. For this particular show, I have a brand new team that has never done pop-ups before. And so it's very important for me that I give them this opportunity to see what it's like to take our company out of the store in Manoa and go out and see people and see what it's like selling and getting feedback directly from people that are shopping. So them knowing that is the goal. We really simplified our setup to make it as clean and easy as possible so that my team can be successful and feel confident in their first pop-up. Let's see. Oh, this is when they asked me yesterday, which is what made me realize they've never done a pop-up and I need to review these things with them, is they said, what is the one-liner, or what do we say? They know things like we should be standing, we should be dressed, we should be wearing our brand, I'm wearing my shirt, we should be smiling, not eating in the booth, of course, hydrating with water, sitting if we need to, but if somebody comes, standing up and addressing them. But they're like, what do we say? And I was like, oh, it's so different, because people normally come into our store and we have something different because we know they're coming in for chocolate. Now at an event, people are just walking past your table. They may or may not come to your stop. And so what's the one thing you want them to know about you, or one action you want them to take, or whatever it may be? So an example for us at Chocolea is we like to tell everybody that we make everything fresh in Hawaii right behind our store in Manoa. A lot of people are always intrigued when they hear that we make chocolates and it's actually made in Hawaii. So all of our products are made in Hawaii. And then when they hear that it's made right behind our store in Manoa, they always are interested in where can they get our products besides seeing us at an event, because a lot of time they don't even want to buy your product at the event. It might be too hot, or they're too overwhelmed, or they don't want to carry it. And so we always guide them back to our store, and we tell them where we are, where they can always find us. And then we hand out what we call our flavor key, which has our store hours, directions, parking, everything, a sample, pictures of other things that we make. So if we only had those 5 seconds with them, we just hope and pray that they will come and visit us in our store one day. Tips for the day of: wear comfortable clothes, bring a change of clothes if it's a long day and you're loading and unloading. When we do those heavy kind of days, I will bring a change of clothes so that I can sweat and unpack or whatever I need to do, and then get into the event clothes. And then I always bring a change of shoes, and that way I can be comfortable in work shoes, but then also wear my flip-flops right after, or slippers. Avoid anything that's going to distract you. So for me, I'll tie my hair back a lot so that I won't get distracted playing with it. And then the last thing is, especially if you're working a booth by yourself, or you tend to get distracted if you see friends or family and you go hug them and talk to them, I like to wear a fanny pack